Hi guys, building a new PC or even upgrading an older system isn't just about buying the best CPUs, best graphics cards, or best SSDs. A motherboard is the backbone of your PC as it holds all the components together. It's recommended that you spend just as much time going through the best motherboards to pick the one that's compatible with everything that goes into your PC. The choice of motherboard will also influence a few other aspects of your build, including the size of your PC case, storage drive options, number of ports, and more. So, let's get started. Number 7, GB X570i Aorus Pro. Motherboards build a strong foundation for a PC build, and we've got a healthy list of options for you to choose from. If you're building with Intel right now, it's a little easier since 12th and 13th Gen can both work off either a Z690 or Z790 motherboard. It's a little trickier if you're building with AMD since there's a platform change between the Ryzen 5000 and 7000 series. Some of the best motherboards, such as the Asus ROG Strix X670E Gaming, command a premium price. But budget builders aren't left out in the cold, with some excellent choices from the likes of ASRock. It really is the best time to be a PC builder right now. You can also check out our collection of the best monitors, best keyboards, and even best webcams if you're looking to create a fully kit setup with the best peripherals. As a rule of thumb, always remember to buy a component that suits your needs, and not because it's new or the fastest on the market. It's important to make sure your budget has enough room to accommodate the other supporting components for your build too. The next is Number 6, Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus. Now you can get it at around $199. Features of this product. The ASRock B660M Pro RS is an M-ATX motherboard that is priced around $100. It offers an incredible amount of value, and it's a solid option to consider for budget 12th and 13th Gen builds. On the memory side, this motherboard supports DDR4 with speeds of up to 4800 MHz. When it comes to the expansion slots, the ASRock B660M Pro RS motherboard only supports PCIe 4.0. You get two PCIe 4.0x16 slots along with a single PCIe 3.0x1 slot towards the bottom of the board. For storage, you get a single M.2 socket along with 4 SATA 3 6.0 GBs connectors with support for RAID 015 and 10. The LGA 1700 socket at the center of the board is flanked by the VRM module to the left and 4 DIMM slots to the right. The ASRock B660M Pro RS has a reliable VRM module with an 8-phase design. It supports Intel's Hybrid and TurboMax 3.0 technology to boost the clock speeds of the chip. It probably isn't a good fit for a high-end CPU, but paired with Intel's more affordable offerings, you've got a capable budget system. The next is Number 5, NZXT N7B550, N7B55XTW1. Now you can get it at around $250. Features of this product. The Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus comes with an AM4 socket, which means it's good for Ryzen 3000 and 5000 series processors, both of which are good choices for budget builds. Despite a relatively affordable price tag, the Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus comes with support for PCIe 4.0 for GPUs and SSDs, dual GPU configurations, and 4x 32GB of RAM. It's a little overkill, but it's nice to have the headroom for future upgrades. You don't get a heatsink covering the M.2 SSD slot, but there's a large one on top next to the connections. The motherboard also comes with integrated Wi-Fi AX200 and Realtek 2.5G LAN with first-party TUF features, making this a well-rounded board for the price. Alternatively, you can also check out the Asus TUF Gaming B550M Plus variant of this board. It's a smaller micro ATX motherboard that costs a little less. It lacks some of the features you find on the larger board, though. The next is Number 4, Asus ROG Maximus Z790 Hero. Now you can get it at around $735. Features of this product. NZXT worked with ASRock to build the N7B550 motherboard for AMD CPUs. It's one of the cleanest, best-looking motherboards you'll find, taking design cues from NZXT's signature line of PC cases. The majority of the board is covered in an easily removable shroud, and it's behind these panels you'll install your M.2 SSDs. On the features side, the NZXT N7B550 motherboard includes PCIe 4.0 support, Wi-Fi 6E, as many as 6 SATA ports, and plenty of USB ports on the rear I/O. The motherboard also has fantastic power delivery to support even an overclocked Ryzen 9 5950X. Notably, the N7B550 motherboard also supports 2.5 GBE, so you're not missing out on Ethernet either. The NZXT N7B550 is also known to handle performance well. It supports overclocking and can handle even the Ryzen 9 5950X at peak frequencies. VRM cooling can comfortably support even the most demanding AMD CPUs on the market, and it has a 12+2+2 phase power design. The next is Number 3, Asus ROG Strix X570E Gaming. In that regard, the quality VRMs, 20+1 phase power design, and support for water cooling, well, basically everything, will come in handy. That said, the included heatsinks are extremely beefy and will do a decent job on their own. The BIOS is full-featured and solid, while being approachable for newcomers. But it isn't just built for overclocking, it's packing everything any enthusiast could want in building a killer PC that starts with the sheer quantity of options. Naturally, it supports up to 128GB of DDR5 memory, but you also have a pair of PCIe 5.0x16 slots, PCIe 4 expansion, and M.2 SSD support, Thunderbolt 4, Wi-Fi 6E, RGB, 2.5G Ethernet, and even killer audio. As an additional bonus, Asus includes its Hyper Expansion card, which can be used for either a PCIe 5.0 SSD or a pair of PCIe 4.0 SSDs to run in one of the expansion slots. If a motherboard were to tick all the boxes, it's this one. The next is Number 2, Gigabyte Z690 Aorus. The Asus ROG Strix X570E gaming motherboard is one of the current flagship chipsets for AMD AM4 builds. It brings full support for PCIe 4.0 including devices connected to both its CPU integrated controllers. This isn't the best motherboard for AMD builds, but it brings a good mix of features and performs well for the price. The Asus ROG Strix X570E gaming motherboard features AMD's AM4 socket, which means it'll support Ryzen 3000 as well as Ryzen 5000 series processors. You can install up to 128GB of RAM using the 4 DIMM slots on this board. The Strix X570E gaming motherboard also has plenty of RGB connectors and pump headers for water cooling. Most motherboards these days have enough fan headers, so that's not an issue here either. Notably, you get 2 M.2 slots, a few SATA, and even PCI slots for connecting other components like, say, a sound card. As a premium motherboard from a reliable manufacturer, the Strix X570E also comes with high-quality components and a great power delivery system. The next is Number 1, Asus ROG Strix X670EE Gaming. Now you can get it at around $500. Features of this product: the Gigabyte Z690 Aorus Pro comes with 4 DIMM slots with support for up to 128GB of RAM. This particular motherboard supports DDR5 memory kits, which means you will not be able to use your older DDR4 kits. According to Gigabyte, this board supports up to DDR5-6200 memory speeds, and we've taken it to 5200 alongside a 12th Gen Core i9 with ease. It's not necessarily built for serious overclocking, but you can certainly squeeze additional performance without too many issues. Another noteworthy feature of the Z690 Aorus Pro is the fact that it also supports PCIe Gen 5. While you can't take advantage of the PCIe 5.0 slot just yet, we still think it's good to have support for future peripherals. The Aorus Pro motherboard also has 3 M.2 slots, and you also get as many as 6 SATA 6GB S connectors with support for RAID 0, 1, 5, and 10. As one of the high-end Z690 motherboards, the Aorus Pro also comes with plenty of connectors and headers to connect all your external peripherals including fans, pumps, RGB lights, and more. So this is the best option for you to buy.